And I was so surprised to see over 100 people put an application in order to work at that store. The young and the old, I was so proud to see that many people. And to go in that building just to see what was from ground to nothing. You remember when they left the rubbish there? Take time to go in that store. Leave a legacy for your children, your grandchildren, your family, and say, everybody say, we own it. We own it. So I ask you, City Councilman, please invest in our store and give us some money. Thank you. I love you.
The next speaker is Lathan Jefferson. Lathan Jefferson.
Hi, my name is Lathan Jefferson. I reside in Flint. You probably wouldn't notice me sitting back here in the yellow jacket. In 63, my father would come to Flint. We grew up in Romulus. He would come to Flint. He would go down to Detroit, Eastern Market, and buy his produce. And he would come to Flint and sell it and go back home every night for probably 40 or 50 years. In 76, I moved here because I seen this was a city that I could work in, go 2 blocks, 6 blocks away, and go fishing, go to the beach, go to a park, and do things in the city. Mr. Jarrett's father was the first black man to go south and get a semi-truck load of watermelons and bring them back here and sell them on the street and sell them in the community for a decent price where people could afford them. And it's needed on that side of town because what's not understood, the average group of children are eating Roman noodles and other stuff. They did a study in the schools because the children were throwing the apples and the bananas in the garbage. And then they went and did the study, and they found that the kids didn't know how to get into an apple or a banana. In all races of schools, not just black schools. And fresh produce is needed in this city. My wife told me, she says, I want to move to Georgia. I told her, I'm going to miss you. Because I love Flint, and I love to stay here. I love the people here. You know, and this is a beautiful town, but the building is already up. And simply help it. I sat here across from looking at a lot of you like you don't live here. You go back to the moon and stay. But if a person walks up to you on the street, you can turn your nose up at them. But why not give that person a job? Thank you.
The next speaker is Jamar McKenzie.
Good evening, Council. City of Flint residents. My name is Jamar McKenzie. I'm the marketing coordinator for the North Flint Food Market. For years, the Pearson and Cloud Road corridor has gone without a full-service grocery store. But now we finally have one that is ours. A co-op built by the community, owned by the community, and designed to serve the community. On a personal note, this opportunity means a lot to me. When I was looking for work, many agencies left my application on red. But Dr. Flynn and his team took a chance on me. They saw something in me when others didn't. That's what this market is all about, is believing in our own people and giving them a chance to grow. Our management team is now in place. We've started hiring. We are offering competitive wages.
What up, baby boy?
To give people the opportunity to be able to flourish instead of just going to work and making a wage when knowing that our economy is in the position that it is in. I would also like to give a special thank you to NCG, which is our consulting company. They have done a phenomenal job with helping us master our roles and really get prepared for opening of the store. I just would like, again, to just ask that you guys take consideration and really help us with opening our store. Thank you.
The next speaker is Byron Smith.
Hello. I'm Byron Smith. I'm a manager at the North Flint Food Market. There haven't been many places around here that are good places. Like not recently. You know, there's plenty of corner stores, or there's a Walmart, Myers if you go to the other side of town, but actual good, healthy, something that would help you. We don't have many places of that. And you are the people who, I guess, help to guide the city of Flint. And so, I'm not lost per se, but what my question to you is where is there a place for the young people of Flint, the people who maybe perhaps don't have vehicles, for them to go find them some good food or something that hasn't been processed in 18 different ways. Like, it's a huge thing. People in the city of Flint move out of the city of Flint, not simply because they need better jobs, but because of how bad the food is. That's a part of it. I enjoy food more than y'all know. Y'all don't know me. I enjoy food. I'm looking forward to there being a place where I can go get fresh food that's close to me. I live within 10 minutes of the store. Any other time or whatever, that's at least a 25, 30-minute ride, because I have to go to a store, then I have to go back, and that's not including the walk through the store. It's beneficial for those around us, those that are supposed to be your community, that you supposedly help to guide. So with the benefits that I see, I don't see a purpose, or I don't see a reason why you can't see it. I can see bias. I can see bias. I know what bias looks like. But if you put faith into the community who you want to do better, I believe you will help us open up the store. Thank you.
The next speaker is Constance Connie Edwards.
Good evening. My name is Miss Connie Edwards, known as Constance. I am a lifelong resident of Flint, Michigan, over 70 years. I am a resident in the Second Ward. I have been attending some of these council meetings for years. I have been concerned. I'm learning. But I want to share with you something tonight from the book 1619. And I suggest all of us read it. But one chapter now I want you to read is called Sugar by Hannah Jones. And it says, though black laborers no longer play a big role in producing sugar, sugar still plays a big role in the lives of black people. Among all Americans, added sugar has been linked to growing rates of certain chronic diseases, including those from which black people suffer the most. African Americans are more likely to eat poor quality processed food with high amounts of added sugar. In 2013, Public health researcher at Johns Hopkins University used the U.S. Census and the info of USA Food data to analyze supermarket availability by census. As poverty increased, the number of supermarkets decreased. But the prevalence of junk food, stock, convenience stores increased. And when poverty was held constant, the researchers found that black communities still had the fewest supermarkets. In 2015, a study of healthy food available in Topeka, Kansas researchers at Kansas State University found that even low-income white neighborhoods were twice as likely to have a food store than a black one. Food deserts, food insecurity, they concluded, are perhaps the most important, delirious consequences of the residential segregation in the United States. The Socrates of one bad one, recent nutritional survey by the National Center for Healthy Statistics found that among children, adolescents, and adults, black people consume a higher percentage of their daily calories from fast food than they do Hispanics and white. In other words, I am a proud member of the North Flint Food Market. And I want to say to you all, from James Baldwin, who said, not everything
You guys give us, examples of proper decorum and sometimes lack of that. We shouldn't let us affect us negatively and act out on that. And I am guilty. I will be judged by one man about this. But in the end,
why you don't come to the council meeting? The chief of police and all that junk. And like right now, nobody ain't never talking about all them people getting killed all this week. Everybody act like they killing possums and coons and stuff. And won't mention them human beings getting shot and dropping nobody tells they dead or not. 2 weeks later, three, and all that junk don't even burn no. They trying to see what she say. They try to put it in a trick bag like War II talking about shot, fired. She wants something to happen, but she's still sticking in her purse. Checking her yacht. Don't drop that thing on the ground. It might go off. Tarzan, watch it. And anyway, about this situation.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk. The next speaker is Stanley Wood.
kind of quiet here tonight, I think, because people are getting ready to go to St. Mark's to their little thing there. But anyway, I don't know if I'm supposed to yell in the microphone or just talk normal. Based on the experience I had last Wednesday, I think we're supposed to yell, but I'm not going to. Resolution 250329T. If that truly is, at the end of it, it says it's in the best interest of the children, that should definitely pass. 250346T. I think it should pass, in my opinion, anything to get the residents their house back. But as long as it's what it says here is they'll work to get them financially stable so they don't end up losing it as soon as they get it back. And the last one I got on here to talk about is 250348T, charitable gaming license. Obviously, that's just a paperwork thing, and I think moving forward, those should always go through. Davina, just a reminder, 12 days left. Sad to not see Councilwoman Johnson here. I was going to give her a little prop up for speaking up about the drug testing that she goes through. That's the kind of engagement I'd like to see from her. I hope this ain't true, but I heard Leon's talking about running for the school board. If that's true, we got some bigger problems in Flint. And then Councilwoman Lewis and Councilwoman Machette, your behavior during the recess between legislative and governmental, we could hear the conversations down here, and for you to be making fun of fellow colleagues, I think is unacceptable. And then I just want to talk about the drug test resolution that's on hold right now. Councilwoman Lewis brought up the colleagues throwing city property and colleagues saying F you to fellow council people. But if I'm not mistaken, now correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't the same councilwoman cussed out a pastor more than once? I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard. And, wow, I got 32 seconds left. Don't forget, I mean, obviously Leon is not here. I won't call him councilman. Keep in mind that October is Domestic Violence Month. Keep everybody in your prayers when you deal with people like that. And my prayers are for Kiki for having to be in hiding all this time just to be safe from him. Don't forget, I mean, obviously Leon is not here. I won't call
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
Keep in mind that October.
The next speaker is Mari Copany.
Keep everybody in your prayers when you deal with people like that. And my prayers are for Kiki for having to be in hiding.
Let me paint a picture for you. Saturday afternoon, 1:30 p.m., a beautiful fall day in the city of Flint. A group of kids are playing in the front yard in their neighborhood, enjoying one of the last mild days of fall. There is a pair of young LDS missionaries standing on another neighbor's porch seeing if they need help with anything. A car pulls into the block, inside a young woman driving and 3 males. The young men have on ski masks. They make eye contact with a parent that is outside taking trash to the dumpster. They also look at the kids that are playing outside, and even after seeing that there are innocent kids and people, they proceed to hang out the windows of that car and shoot at least 30 rounds from one end of the block to the other. The missionaries described how they had bullets flying past them. The neighbor that was taking trash to the dumpster said she thought she was about to die. At least 4 of my neighbors and my mom called 911. Every single one of them was put on hold for over 2 minutes. Let me repeat myself. 4 people dialed 911 at 1:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday in the city of Flint, and every single one of them was put on hold. Thankfully, there were no physical injuries, but we have now traumatized an entire group of little kids that every single one of them was put on hold for over 2 minutes. Let me repeat myself. 4 people dialed 911 at 1:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday in the city of Flint, and every single one of them was put on hold. Thankfully, there were no physical injuries, but we have now traumatized an entire group of little kids that every single one of them was put on hold for over 2 minutes. Let me repeat myself. 4 people dialed 911 at 1:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday in the city of Flint, and every single one of them was put on hold. Thankfully, there were no physical injuries, but we have now traumatized an entire group of little kids that every single one of them was put on hold for over 2 minutes. I would really like to see less babysitters. 4 people dialed 911 at
when you run for office on your affidavit, your address is public. People can get your address. When I put the people information out there, I black it out. I understand. I don't like putting people's addresses out there. But here's the issue. As a constituent or as a resident of the city of Flint, the addresses should be on here, just like this executive order that's getting ready to come out, where assist residents who have lost their homes through tax foreclosures. Those addresses should be on there. The $106,000 for a historic house. Do you know how many houses that $106,000 could fix outside of that one? $106,000, man, that can buy a nice house. I have nothing against whoever house it is. It should be $25,000, if anything. Hey, we can give you 25, you gotta come up with this other 75. I have nothing, not anything against them, but it should be divided to where everybody, as much as possible, can benefit off that $106,000. Serious, it's not a spite, or it's not a slap at Michael Carpenter. I like Mike. But $106,000 for one house, that is a lot of money. And you know, if I had to vote against it, that would be the only reason why I would vote against it, is because it's a lot of other houses that needs to be fixed with lead abatement and everything else. And just one house at $106,000 is a lot. And it's not. I can FOIA. Back when Mayor Weaver was doing service lines, they would come up in zones. And I FOIA'd, I FOIA'd Rizzo, and they gave me every address of the customers that has waste, that has a waste assessment. We can get the address through FOIA because it is public. It is FOIAble. So when things like this come up, it's not a spite to find out if it's somebody doing something wrong or whatever. It's just, I would like to see the house, me, myself. What makes this house $106,000 worth of work? Why are they doing $106,000 worth of work on this one house when you can get historical funds? Had they put in for historical funds, this is a historical house. But $106,000, that is a lot of money, y'all. And we know that is. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Keelani Copany.
My name is Keelani Copany. I'm 13 years old and I'm the City Council kindergartner teacher. But today I'm not going to review the basic kindergarten rules and principles you should have learned before first grade. Today I'm going to talk about what it's like to be a kid in Flint. Everyone talks about how Flint kids are strong and resilient and how well they overcome adversity, and we are, but why do Flint kids have to be any of those things when the only thing they should be worried about is being a kid? Unfortunately, that's not the case for many kids here in Flint. Every day, kids like me walk to school, to the bus stop, to the park, or just sit on our porches. But too often, we do it looking over our shoulders. We've gotten used to hearing sirens, not laughter, gunshots, not fireworks, and that's not how any kid should grow up. And everyone likes to blame the youth for the crime. And while young people do play a part in the crime, the adults in the city, including parents, honestly need to step up and take accountability for not stepping up for the kids here. Parents need to know where their kids are and what they are doing. Kids need a village to be able to thrive. They need teachers, coaches, mentors, and neighbors that look out for their well-being. We need role models that are actually role models and not just leaders showing us examples of how not to act. Kids need to be able to thrive in their community, not to be afraid they are going to be hurt while simply being a child. And it's time for everyone to step up and do better, because until you grown-ups do better, you can't expect the kids to do better.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The final speaker for this meeting is Sarah Houston.
Good afternoon, Council. Sarah Houston from the 6th Ward. I want to first start off by apologizing for my behavior the last time I was here. That's not me. That's really not me. I don't like to come off as that, and God's been working on me about accountability in my mouth and what I'm saying, and if I'm representing things, how I want to come off. And so I want to personally say I am sorry to you, Ms. Liddell Lewis, Dr. Liddell Lewis. I am apologizing to you. I hope that you'll take my apology. You don't have to. That's on you, not me. Happy belated birthday to you. You share a birthday with my grandson who turned 1. And so I just wanted to be, you know where we were. And I feel like we had a somewhat of a relationship, and I came in and seen some behavior, and I didn't care for the behavior, and I called it out, and I did not mean to offend you, and I apologize for that. I will hope and pray that my first impressions of you as being here for the people are true. I just get sick and tired of seeing an episode of Mean Girls. Everybody is just, it's an episode of Mean Girls, y'all, and we are, especially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beautiful black women that should be working together, and regardless of what you do and don't like, just work together for the good of the people. And that's what I would ask of you. I would be remiss not to say that I am a CODA, I'm a child of deaf adults. I come here because I am an advocate for the deaf community. I would love to see sign language interpreters provided for the deaf community here. If you want to spend $106,000 on a house, and that's not a problem, why is the budget a problem for access for people that are in this city? The Michigan School for the Deaf is housed here. I would like to see access provided, please. I have another minute left. That is wonderful. I had the beautiful opportunity to run into Councilwoman Johnson yesterday at Sam's Club, and we had a wonderful conversation for about an hour, and I thank you for that conversation, because it gave me a lot of insight to who you are as a person, and that we have a lot of things that are like in common, that are alike, and you brought things to me that that brought that accountability to mind, and so I thank you for that. And I just hope that everybody would, try to extend olive branches to each other and try to work together for the good of the city of Flint, because ultimately that's why you all ran. And so I would love to see people put their feelings aside and just work together for the good of the people. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. You said that was the final public speaker, correct?
That's correct.
Seeing as how that is the end of public speaking, it's now time for council response. Council members may respond once to all public speakers only after all public speakers have spoken. Individual council members' response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to speak during council response? Seeing as how, Councilwoman Burns.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to all of you who have shown up today. And I do also want to say thank you to Bethel, who opened their doors for a community meeting for the 6th Ward, and basically for everyone to come ask questions, to gain knowledge of things, and to share information, experiences, and so on. But I also just want to also state that today at 6:30 p.m., St. Mark Church will be having a restoration at Calvary United Church at 2111 Flushing Road at 6:30 with Bishop Trotter. The Albert Strickland and Chosen Choir will be there, and it's open for everyone, and it is to unify the community. On August 30th, St. Mark had a devastating fire at their church. It was burnt, but the entire church was smoke damage. There was certain parts which were completely totaled, and the entire church was filled with smoke. So they're out of their church, and a call went out. The community showed up from everywhere, Wayne County, Saginaw County, just to make sure that the congregation in the church was okay. We have had in the past several weeks or months, our churches have been under attack. So my heart goes out to St. Mark's, the Grand Blanc Church of Latter-day Saints, and the People's Church of Flint. And they're asking for everyone today to come fellowship at Calvary, and a meal will be served afterwards. I yield the floor.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during council response? Councilwoman in the second ward, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just wanting to comment about the mayor's executive order. I heard a resident speaking on it, so just want to make sure that he is aware of what's happening. If you look at the resolution, it says that some of the Neighborhood Works Program, and it talks about what's needed to do so. So it talks about how the homeowner must pay back all outstanding taxes, fees, and costs, execute appropriate documents, and participate in a financial literacy program and other requirements before the homeowner may buy their property back. So it's definitely great to be an informed resident when you approach that lectern. Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to take the floor during council response? Seeing as how there is no one else, I will take my time. I do want to thank both of the young ladies that came and spoke today. I do want to say that 2 minutes is a very long time when there is an emergency, and that is not acceptable. I'm not passing blame, but what I am saying is that the Flint police are not in charge of the 911 dispatch. But the calls are dispatched out as they should, and I've heard other people say that they have had that experience, whether it was in Flint or not in Flint, about the either being placed on hold, which again I understand is completely devastating when you're in the middle of an emergency, or just wait times, right? And so I want to acknowledge the fact that you brought up something very important to our attention, and that you are not the only ones who have experienced something like that. Also, to the other young lady who spoke about the experience of being a child in Flint and how there are programs and things that we should be offering, something that we should do better. And I do appreciate you also explaining the fact that it's a partnership, right? Because parents should know where their children are. They should know what their children are doing. And it is our job to the best of our ability for what we can do, because again, we can't overreach or overstep or come into homes and parent children, but we should do what we can with the resources that we have to figure out some services that will work to make sure that some of the experiences that we had growing up in Flint, and even more so our parents who had wonderful experiences growing up in Flint, that you all get an opportunity to learn here, grow here, be productive here. If you should choose to go away, actually want to come back here. So thank you both for coming and speaking. I don't have any more time left. So we now move on to the consent agenda. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
Make a motion to send the consent agenda to council.
There is a motion to send the consent agenda to council. Is there support? Moved and properly supported by the councilman in the 8th Ward. Are there any separations?
Madam Chair.
Councilman in the 8th Ward.
250346.
46,
Yep.
okay.
And that's it.
Are there any more separations? Councilwoman in the 5th Ward.
250347.
347. Are there any more separations? Seeing as how there are no more separations, the consent agenda will consist of Resolution 250348-T, 250329-T. Oh, that's it. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin is not in. Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett is not in. The vote is 7 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. The consent agenda passes. Madam Clerk, I do want to, for my colleagues, because there was someone here to speak to 250348-T, and if we're not going to separate that during council, I know she had something else to do, and this was last minute for her, so I do want to tell her that her resolution has passed on to council, and she can go, because I know she had other things to get to. So thank you. Thank you. Moving on to Resolution 250346-T, which is the sale of city properties, neighborhood Neighbor Works Program, Mayor Neely's Executive Order Number 25-005. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair,
Councilwoman in the Fourth Ward.
move to council.
There has been a motion to move this resolution to council. Is there support? Support. Moved and properly supported by the councilman in the Eighth Ward. Is there discussion in the first round?
Madam Chair.
Councilman in the Eighth Ward, you have the floor.
So, through you to the city attorney. I don't have a problem with this. I just want to make sure that it's not overstepping its bounds with the property disposition procedure. Like, to me, this right here is going around the property disposition procedure for city-owned property. And I just want to make sure that we're not setting new precedents where the mayor can put something under this program and then it falls under, and he can do with whatever he wants under this program.
So it would be my position that this executive order and the associated resolution is not in conflict with the city's property disposition policy, because this executive order and again the related resolution only deal with a limited subset, a limited pool of properties that the city is facilitating the transfer from Genesee County to the original owner for the payment of the back taxes and the other amounts.
So,
as opposed to third parties for other city-owned parcels.
So, because the city has other properties, right, outside of these ones here, so those properties would not be eligible for this Neighbor Works program, right?
Correct. Those other properties outside of the ones described in this executive order would still go through the city's standard property, real property disposition program. This is only a limited pool of properties that were claimed from the Genesee County Treasurer tax foreclosure auction that are being disposed of according to the terms set forth in the executive order and the accompanying resolution.
So this would be from here until the end of time, correct? This isn't, does the executive order expire or does that continue? Like, is this program now for the upcoming year, the following year, like, is this going to be ongoing and we never touch it again?
Correct.
Okay. And the would the all of the fees or whatever that's paid by the resident, because this is only for if the resident is still in the property?
That's my understanding, yes.
And that money would just go to the general fund?
That I'm not sure of. That would be more of a finance-related question.
You have a minute 29. Mr. Moore,
Or Amanda?
will you, Amanda is here? I didn't see her. Whomever the appropriate staff person is.
While you guys are walking up, my initial question was the dollars for this program that residents pay to get their house back, where would that money go?
Well, the funds that they paid for was of the property taxes that were due for current year and also any water bills due.
So what about previous year's taxes? They don't have to pay those?
Yes,
So all back taxes,
Yes.
whatever's due,
yes,
that would go to the normal department that tax, the water, the same?
yes.
Okay. I mean, I would kind of like those to go into a separate pile where they help residents in the future to stop them from going to the county, but I guess that's probably a different program altogether. Okay, I have no further questions, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like the floor in the first round of discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the Fifth Ward, you have the floor.
I think I want to know, first, what department will be overseeing this? Would it be your department, Amanda, or?
Well, I will, once any parcels are, presented to me, then I will make sure that we get the, the dollar amounts for that. But other than that, how it comes to me, this year it came through from Stacy, so from assessment, so.
Now, do we have a list of the properties in question?
There is a list, yes.
Did we get it? Is it within, I don't think it's in our packet.
I'm not sure, the list would change over time, so I'm not sure that was ever sent to the council, but the property owners were notified, and those that were able to participate in the program.
Yeah, but you mentioned properties that residents are already staying in and that they're not gonna lose. There must be a list of the properties, are there?
There was a list generated, yes.
It was?
Yes.
But do we have the list, the council?
That I don't know.
Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna say this. This resolution, 250346 and 250347, as well as 250348. Now, I understand 250348, that's just a matter of, them just needing a vote to do their fundraiser, whatever they're doing. But these other two resolutions, they did not go through committee. And committee is where we do the work. Now, we don't have all the information we need. I don't have all the information I need to make an informed decision and vote on this tonight. So I'm just saying, if this doesn't go back to committee and we're able to talk about this and get the information that we need, I will not be voting on this tonight. So I'm just going to yield the floor, give my colleagues a chance to speak, and that's just how I'm going to put it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Anybody in the second round of discussion? Madam Clerk,
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Second round. Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion that we keep Resolution 350346, that we send it back to committee.
There's a motion to send back to committee. Is there support? It's been moved and properly supported. This is the roll call vote to send, what committee?
Finance.
There's a motion on the floor by the councilwoman in the Fifth Ward to send this to finance, and supported by the councilwoman in the Sixth Ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Dr. Lewis?
No.
Ms. Johnson?
No.
Ms. Priestley?
No.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett is absent. Mr. Alamin is absent. The vote is 3 yes, 4 no.
The vote is 3 yes, 4 no. That motion fails. Back to the second round of discussion. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to send to council.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Mr. Jarrett is absent. Mr. Alamin is absent. Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
The vote is 4 yes, 3 no.
Vote is 4 yes, 3 no. That resolution fails to move to council. Moving on to Resolution 250347-T, which is the issuance of public notice, proposed modification, City of Flint Sewer Use Ordinance for Industrial Pretreatment Program, Michigan Department of Environmental, Great Lakes, and Energy. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair,
Councilwoman in the Fourth Ward.
send to council.
There's a motion on the floor to send this resolution to council by the councilwoman in the Fourth Ward. Is there support?
Support.
Moved and properly supported by the councilwoman in the Second Ward. Is there discussion? Councilwoman in the Fifth Ward, I'll give you the floor.
Chair, I was gonna, somebody else to speak. Now, and I'll say this again. Resolution 350347-T did not go through committee. And then, with that, we get this big packet of information right here to go along with it. I mean, why are we circumventing going through committee? That's where we do the work. That's where we answer the, ask the questions and get the answers. I will not be supporting this tonight unless it goes back to committee. Then I'll be able to listen, ask questions, and make an informed decision to approve or disapprove. I'm over it. I yield the floor, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like the floor in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair,
Councilman in the Eighth Ward.
is there anybody that can speak to this from the administration?
Is there someone from the administration that is able to speak to the issuance of the public notice? Ms. Best, please join us at the lectern.
Can you give me a little, because we just got this, I don't know if it was emailed to us or not, but we just got this revision. Do you, why is this revision being proposed, and what is the purpose?
We're required by the state to update our sewer use ordinance to mirror the requirements of our NPDES permit, and we had to update the limits for discharges by industrial users. So to do that, we had to change some of the language, and that's required. It required us to update the sewer use ordinance. What this proposal is right now is just to put the public notice out for 30 days with the state so that people can review the ordinance and submit comments on it. This is not to pass the ordinance at this point. This is just a public notice.
No, I understand, but when we have a habit of, once we issue the public notice, we never review it the way we should, because we vote on it typically the night of the public hearing. So is this, I don't see any date that we have to have this done by. We have till the end of the year?
We actually prepared this several months ago, but because there were difficulties with council, we postponed it. Eagle is after us to get this done as soon as possible.
So
I mean,
if
they
you
call us
proposed it
monthly.
months ago, why are we just now getting it today?
Because there were issues with trying to get things passed by council.
So you didn't even bring it? What does that mean? We continually pass stuff forever at this council. What do you mean?
I
So
know.
So you didn't bring it to council because you didn't think you had the votes? I'm trying to understand why you didn't bring it to council. I take your silence as that. I will not be
I don't
pass-
really have
I will
good
not be, you know what, your silence
No.
is good, thank you. I appreciate you, thank you. I will not be supporting this tonight. It needs to go back in front of committees and be discussed there. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
So on Saturday, we received the same information that's in our packet that we received tonight. We received that via email. Please check your email for that kind of information so that you can follow up on it and have any questions. This is a committee. This is the Special Affairs Committee. This is where we do the work. We can do the work here that we can do on a Wednesday night committee meeting. So this is a public hearing that needs to be held. The state is after us to hold it, and I will be supporting setting that public hearing at this time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Could you call Ms. Jeanette Bass up?
Ms. Best, will you please join us at the lectern once again?
Hi, Ms. Bass.
Hi.
So when were you going to, when was it completed or prepared and completed? What month?
I'm not really sure what month. It was sometime after Mr. Quincy died.
After Councilman Murphy died?
Yes. I'm sorry.
So he passed away September 29, 2024.
Right. And this
Okay.
was prepared after that, but because the vacancy persisted for so long, we were concerned that we wouldn't have a quorum to review it. This is just the public notice. This is not, the final edition.
I want to ask you a very frank question. Are you concerned about not having 5 votes, that you feel that dealing with our wastewater disposal, that you would hold back a resolution?
It was recommended that we wait.
Who recommended? Was it the mayor?
No.
Was it Clyde Edwards, the city administrator?
I don't believe so. There was some discussion with him, but it wasn't him.
So, with these, that was over a year ago. We're in October. If it was, well, we're saying when Councilman Murphy was alive. To withhold something, and I understand you're saying it's just a hearing, but if it was something, I would hope that you would not be worried about having 5 solid votes, because we're a body of 9. Water is something that everybody needs to survive, and that I'm disappointed that when we're looking at this wastewater disposal regulations, use of storm sewers, and reading through these, and I had glazed through them in my email, but to hold something back, I understand very clearly. We know what a committee is, because on each of our agendas it tells us what a committee is, and that Special Affairs Committee is a committee because committee is in the name. I would hate that you would hold that back and someone would be advising you to not bring it forward and to hold it back and to cause further division in our city. It's time for us to stop the division, be inclusive. Water, this is the city's business, and it's something that should have been brought forward without hesitation.
Well, one of the other things that slowed it down was the fact that it had to be reviewed by Eagle after we prepared it, it had to be reviewed by our own attorney's office. And I believe there was,
We had a couple changes.
yeah, we had a couple changes,
Yeah.
so that slowed it down significantly. So
And
our
so-
our new city attorney had an opportunity to look at it.
Right, so you
So-
would have had,
We probably had a couple months, yes.
yeah, yeah.
And it kind of got lost.
Yeah, yeah, and I can see that. And so do you feel this is time sensitive right now?
I would like to get it done as soon as possible because I consistently get calls from the district office of Eagle asking us where we are with this.
When did they first request it? When were you notified that you needed to have this completed by? Because we already know it's at least a year.
They just keep saying as soon as possible, as soon as possible.
So if they notified you a year ago, if we're looking at Councilman Murphy's passing, so it was at least a year ago, September, July?
We were working on it then. We didn't have it done then.
Oh, you didn't have it done
No.
in
No.
2024?
No.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the first round of discussion? Anybody in the second round of discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the Fifth Ward.
Madam Chair, I would like to, what did I do with my, oh, I see it. First, I just want to say this. This did not go through committee, and I want to let the public know that Special Affairs, the Special Affairs Committee, is reserved for any standing committee agenda items needing additional discussion or information, as well as for any emergency agenda submission. That's Special Affairs. That's what Special Affairs is designed for. Yes, it is a committee. However, it's a committee for us to get information that we need that we could not get during the committee meeting. So with that being said, I will not be supporting this tonight. I would like for this, I'm going to make a motion for this to go back to committee so that we can look at this and then move it on to council. That's my motion, Madam Chair.
There's a motion on the floor to send this back to what committee?
It looks like it should go to, yeah, maybe legislative.
No, this is government operations, wouldn't it be, Madam
Or
Clerk?
maybe governmental operations. What would it be?
It's an ordinance? Oh, so never mind, it's an ordinance. Madam Clerk?
Yeah, it's an ordinance, legislative.
Since the subject matter has to do with an ordinance, you could move it to legislative.
All righty. There's a motion on the floor to send this to legislative committee by the councilwoman in the Fifth Ward, supported by the councilman in the Eighth Ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Priestley?
No.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mushat?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett is absent. Mr. Alamin is absent. Dr. Lewis?
No.
Ms. Johnson?
No.
The vote is 3 yes, 4 no.
The vote is 3 yes, 4 no. That motion fails. Back to the second round of discussion for 250347-T. Councilwoman in the Second Ward.
Thank you. So just wanting some clarity. Madam Clerk, excuse me, through you, Madam Chair, I do apologize, to the clerk. Have we ever submitted a resolution through, I'm gonna be more specific. Have Councilwoman Winfrey Carter ever submitted or introduced a resolution to Special Affairs?
Right off the top of my head, I wouldn't be sure about that.
Okay, because I guess I'm referring to the one about Councilman Leon Alamin She brought that, bypassed all the committees, went straight to special affairs. So I just want to make sure that we are clear when we are going to stand on whether we're going to do something or not and setting a precedent. The fact that we selectively do it, we have to make sure that we're mindful of that. So if either we're going to do it or we're not do it when it's convenient for us, because we see that we have a lot of things that we need to get done. We also saw that Madam Clerk submitted this information to us Saturday, so we had enough time to peruse it and to see what we needed to ask questions about. And thank you so much for submitting the information in hard copy, because I definitely can appreciate that. But, and also to the staff member in the back, I haven't had the pleasure of working with you directly, but I do want to apologize because I know it takes a lot to come before the body. And so when you hear aggression towards you, I know it can probably shut you down. So I don't want to apologize because we want to make sure that we are speaking to our employees with decorum. And so I'm in favor of this. We had the word, we had opportunity to answer questions, so thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
That was a missed opportunity. There's no aggression. I think people have choices when we're talking about a resolution, and then we're talking a one-page resolution, and then we're talking a 30-page packet. There is a difference, clear difference. And I think at this time, I think it's a fair thing to say it's not aggression towards in gaslighting this community. That was just an unnecessary shot taken. So I will not be supporting this at this time. I would like to see it go back. I will be sending some emails in regards to why this was held up for an entire year. And this is our water. If it was time sensitive, it would have been here a year ago. And it bypassed committee, which some things do bypass committee, but for it to be time sensitive and to be told to not bring it, I've got some questions, and I'll be sending some emails. So at this time, I will be supporting, I don't know, we had the vote. We had the vote, and I don't know if we can send it back to special affairs after, I don't know, but I will not and it's not, I'm very troubled about, and there is no aggression. There was absolutely none. I mean, people have a right to ask questions that they want to have asked or have answered, and it's fair. No one person on this body is any better than any other person. We're all equal to our wards. And there should be no more separation and divisive tactics on this council.
Y'all imagine.
I know. I know. Jerry already, she pointed out as soon as we got here.
Twinning.
Yeah. So today was a great kind of day. I have a great kind of day. So I don't want Ms. Best to think that it's aggression or anything. I'm going to support, sometimes we support with our colleagues who may need a little bit more time, and I think it is reasonable to support that, because if it was time sensitive, we had a year. So I think another, when are we in the 7 days, 10 days? I think it's fair, because we waited over 365 days. So I yield the floor. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the second round of discussion? Seeing as how there's no one else in the second round of discussion, I will go ahead. I'm going to take my time, and then I'm going to get to you. Yes. Ms. Best, will you please join us at the lectern one more time? Because one thing I want to do is bring a few points of clarity. I know sometimes, because we have such limited time, when we get answers back, we're not listening to the answers that we're getting, and so sometimes things can get a bit convoluted. So I just want to clear up some things. I believe when Ms. Best was originally asked about why it wasn't brought She said that she was concerned there wouldn't be votes there. Mr. Pfeiffer, I think, took that entirely wrong because once Ms. Burns got the floor, Ms. Best clarified. It was right after Councilman Murphy passed and we were not able to get quorum. And so she said that. She clarified the fact that it had nothing to do with 5 specific people. It was the fact that, and we can go back and look at our records, there was a very difficult time getting quorum after that. And so I just want to make sure that we are clear and that it is on the record of what you actually said, was the fact that we were not getting the quorum needed to even bring something down that was that serious. And also, I also want the record to reflect the amount of time that it took to get things passed when they finally did pass, right? It wasn't like it was just one of those things. We probably would have been trying to do this at this time anyway, Ms. Best. I do want to be clear that we are here now. We know what this is. We've had this since Saturday. I'm not mad at anybody that needs a little bit more time because, I mean, you know, sometimes people just need to take a little bit longer to understand when they get documents and stuff in front of them. So I get that. I want everybody to have the time that they need to go over documents. So that makes sense. But I want us to, when the staff is speaking, make sure that we're hearing you clearly, and that the fact that you said that quorum was the issue, nothing else. That you were advised because it was probably going to be long and drawn out. But I also want to make sure that we heard you when you said that Eagle keeps calling you, saying the sooner the better. So you're doing your part, right? It was prepared, it was done. And so now you've kind of got pressure on both sides. You've got Eagle calling you to say, hey, where's this at? What's happening? And then you also had the pressures of working in this building and knowing that you couldn't get a full council here, or at least 5 people here to even go over and give this information and give it the time that you would have needed to given it. So I see you. I understand your position. I understand, obviously it probably took a lot longer than you would have liked for it to take. But there has to be, some responsibility on all ends about what was happening during that time. So I do thank you. I thank you for the work that you are doing. You enjoy the rest of your evening. Madam Clerk, I believe you wanted the floor, so I'll yield. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to make sure that council understood that that ordinance was sent just for your review, because when I received the resolution, it was attached. And there are some circumstances where we have an exceptional request for a public hearing notice like this. We have to do a joint notice with Eagle. So working with the attorney's office in conjunction with Ms. Best and Water Pollution Control as well as Eagle, it's a matter of making sure that we publish it as required by law. And as she mentioned, this ordinance has to be provided to the public, or I'm sorry, it might have been Attorney Cups, has to be provided so that the public can see the amendments that are being, or the modifications that are being requested. So it's going to be a tricky thing only because normally the ordinance has a first reading and then we publish. So because the ordinance had been received, I just wanted to make sure that you had it in case you had any questions about it. But the ordinance is definitely not up for first reading or anything at this time. It's just a matter of setting that public hearing and having enough time to give the 30 days notice for the public. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. I do believe we are on to the roll call vote for Resolution 250347-T, which is the issuance of a public notice. Proposed modification, City of Flint Sewer Use Ordinance for Industrial Pre-Treatment Program, Michigan Department of Environmental, Great Lakes, and Energy, also known as Eagle. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley? Yes. Vote is 4 yes, 3 no.
The vote is 4 yes, 3 no. Resolution 250347-T fails to move to council. I will entertain a Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
I'd like to make a motion to send it to, what was it? With the Special Affairs Committee.
This is Special Affairs.
For next week.
To,
Legislative, was it the legislative?
I think that motion already failed.
Yeah.
There's a motion to adjourn. Is there support?
Support.
I don't know how that works. Somebody's in the middle making a motion.
I don't know what we could send it to anyways.
Just bring it back up at
Alrighty.
legislative next week.
Support, roll call, Madam Clerk, for the motion to adjourn.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Vote is 7 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. The time is now 5:41 p.m. on Monday, October 13th. This Special Affairs Committee meeting is hereby adjourned.
Okay, just a reminder to the public, this is the time to fill out slip for the council meeting, public speaking. If you have already filled out a slip for special affairs, you do not have to fill out another slip. Thank you.
The time is now 5:47 p.m. on Monday, October 13th. I hereby call this city council meeting to order. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin is not in. Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson is not in. Ms. Priestley is not in. Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Present.
Ms. Burns?
Present.
Ms. Mashat?
Present.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Present.
Mr. Jarrett?
Present.
You have 5 members present.
We have 5 members present. It is now time for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Jarrett, will you please lead us in the pledge? Hold on one second, I'm sorry. Can you start over there? I'm sorry.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now time for the prayer of blessing, but before we get to the prayer of blessing, is there anyone who has someone or a family that they would like to acknowledge?
Madam, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Councilman in the 9th Ward.
Would like to request a moment of silence and acknowledgement for the Dudley family, Dudley/Thompson family, passing of Mr. Philip Dudley, who also was a City of Flint employee as well. That's all.
Thank you, Councilwoman in the 5th Ward.
Yes, Madam Chair. I would like to ask for a moment of silent prayer for my family, the family of Mr. Homer Winfrey Jr., as well as the family for Mrs. Doris Smiley and the family of Mr. Corey Nolden, the late Brian B.B. Nolden's brother.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to remember a family at this time? All righty, seeing as how.
So I want to go ahead and take over from here.
Oh, no, I was going to throw it to you to pray.
Yeah, no, so I had to ask somebody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Long as you pray after.
Okay. All right, so I would like to acknowledge Mr. Carlton Darnell. He's an upcoming entrepreneur that specializes in cooking oysters in the city. So a special memorial for him, and as well as Mr. John McDaniels. And that will conclude it.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
I would like to ask for a moment of silence for Mr. Clyde Edwards Sr.
Clyde Edwards Sr.?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
father of our city administrator, Mr. Clyde Edwards.
Okay. All right, thank you. Vice President, did you already select someone to pray?
Yes, I want to make sure that we keep all of the families in prayer. And thank you, Madam Clerk, for reminding us about Clyde Edwards Sr. Yes, at this time, I would ask that Dr. Lewis lead us in a word of prayer.
All right, thank you. So please, heads bowed and hearts and minds clear. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to gather one more time. We thank you for the opportunity to serve. And so we want you to guide our hearts, guide our minds, guide our mouths as we conduct the business for your people. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, so now we are moving on to the next item on the agenda. And I believe that is oh no, we already did that, didn't we? Okay, sorry. At the reading of the disorderly person city code subsection, Any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of the City of Flint City Code Section 3110, disorderly conduct, assault and battery, and disorderly persons, and will be subject to arrest for a misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given one warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest. Violators will be removed from the meetings. So now, is there any request for changes to the agenda? All right, seeing none, we will
Madam
go ahead
Chair.
and move forward with the public hearing.
Madam
Public
Chair.
hearing number, I'm sorry, go ahead, Madam Clerk.
I just wanted to point out for the record, there is a note on the agenda, but I just wanted to make sure that the council and the public understood that there was an administrative errors made on the committee agendas, and some of the resolutions had an incorrect number. And you'll see asterisks. Those are just to correct those resolution numbers. Council votes on the agenda items. And so administratively, I just made the decision to correct those numbers because you hadn't voted to approve or deny them in a final manner. So I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now it's time for the public hearing. Public hearing number 250291.6, the public hearing regarding obsolete property rehabilitation district, 703 South Grand Traverse Street. And before we get started, I would like to give the floor to the attorney so he can explain this.
I don't really have anything additional to add to this other than to note that when the resolution calling the public hearing was originally considered and passed by this council, the proponents of that resolution did have an opportunity to speak, and I know questions were answered from the relevant department within the city as well on the substantive workings of this OPRA.
Oh, okay. Thank you, attorney. So now we will go ahead and proceed with the public hearing, Madam Clerk.
So for public hearings, anyone that wishes to speak during this hearing would just walk up to the microphone, state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Stanley Wood. Obviously, if I'm not mistaken, this is the property that they're building the restaurant at, and that'll add some more jobs to the area. So I'm 100% in favor for this. That's it.
All right, next speaker.
Mario Mitchell. And I'm not mistaken, this is the property over on Grand Traverse where we're going to build this restaurant, and we the people had affirmed this, and we was here today to affirm it again. And welcome to Flint and the Grand Traverse, people's in the Grand Traverse house, just like Flint Osteopathic Hotel over there on Court Street. When they built it, they didn't want the public to know about it. But you people let us know that you're gonna build. That's the way you do business in Flint. That's for the record. We Flintstones. Welcome to Flint. We need some more restaurants in Flint anyway. Take that.
All right, next speakers. Want to encourage those that do speak, please be germane to the public hearing. Any more speakers for public speaking? And please note that this is exclusively on the obsolete property rehabilitation. So this isn't public comment. This is just public speaking on that specific hearing. All right, seeing that we don't have any more speakers for the public hearing number 250291.6, I declare public hearing 250291.6 officially closed. Now moving on to public comment. First speaker, Madam Clerk.
First speaker is R.L. Mitchell.
Hello, I'm R.L. Mitchell. Speaking on this situation you call gaslighting in Flint, the first time we got lighted, it was in 1991 over in Atherton Terrace. Just like when you try to get $1 million to knock them houses down before you can build, the same thing is going on with that ego situation with the woman come up here talking about the councilman done died, and we just add on situation want us we to be okie dokie before we can get gas lighted again, but never again, like the Middle East people say, never again we'll get, like they blowed up the senior citizen home over on Afton Terrace. I don't remember that stuff. And all that, and they still asking for money, $1 million right now, to finish demolition over there before they can go farther. Just like in Mashack neighborhood, asking for $165,000 just for one house to rebuild inside, no gutted out and all that stuff and all that waste of money and stuff and all. You can build in the other ghettos, you can build take care of about 250 houses with that one house with Mashack, the 7th Ward and all that stuff. And the beat goes on in Flint with that gas light and stuff. The woman in the 2nd Ward talking about, Miss Byrne was talking harshly at the woman. You don't have to apologize to them business peoples. You don't have to, there ain't no weak peoples. Don't apologize. They're working for us. That's us. Oh, 2nd Ward. And you know good and well, we the people ain't going to put it. We want our, I almost said, Heil Hitler. Hey man, what they done to you? Welcome back, 9th Ward. Wow, stay around the barber shop and you get a haircut without your permission. Hello? All right, and we're going, all these bobbleheads in Flint, well, we're going to get maids' names put on this building right over the Hassel Center. There are no old folks home. We got to build a grocery store in 1 year. The tell Reverend Flims what he talking about, 15 years like the Detroit, we ain't copying off of them. We Flintstone, we can build stuff in 3 months, like your own Door Highway, working on them junkyards. You build a junkyard in 1 month, the frame is already up. The junkyard of the day, getting all them people's, all the teenagers, fast cars and junking them because they don't know how to drive, going 150 miles an hour down Kyle Road, and they junking them supersonic cars like it ain't nothing funny, and nobody's saying nothing about it. They got babies having babies and taking their babies and taking their guns. And stay tuned, America. In New York, watch out. Trump on the way back to Flint.
All right, thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Stanley Wood.
Councilwoman Johnson, you weren't here right at the right time earlier, and I just want to thank you for being engaged and speaking up about the drug testing when they were talking about that. That's what the people want to see. I want to see you engaged. I want to see you put your input in on things. And just know that I have to be on time every time in order to speak. So that means I got to have my slip in at 4:30 on a Monday or 5 o'clock. But today's attendance, there was only one person here on time. Quorum wasn't established until 4:39, so we're 9 minutes late. Again, I have to be here on time in order to be able to speak, but yet I guess you guys think our time isn't valuable. I don't know. Next time you guys decide to talk about changing the council rules, what I would like to see, because I've seen it affected Councilwoman Priestley and Councilman Pfeiffer directly, is I'd like to see where, if you guys could change the rules that as they call somebody up through the chair, that their time freeze during that time, because like I said, for Councilwoman Priestley, it was like 1.5 minutes, almost 2 minutes, before they could come up with their answer, and with Councilman Pfeiffer, it was well over 1 minute today. So I'd like to request that. Councilman Pfeiffer, I agree with you. Silence is an answer. If you're not going to say anything, I look at two things. Silence is an answer, or silence is acceptance. One of those two things. So if you don't do nothing about it, you stand silent. If you're just going to stand there and silent, then you pretty much answer my question for me. for the two resolutions that failed to go back to committee, there was a reason they failed, because they can bring them back up for reconsideration as long as they have their 5 votes. It'll get rubber stamped through, so we don't have to worry about that for them. And as the great Eric Mays said, committees are due to the work. Special affairs is in case there's some questions that didn't get answered, they could get answered in special affairs, then go on to council. Special affairs is not a quote-unquote working committee. It's to get some answers and go on from there. And then Councilwoman Lewis, thank you for clarifying about the one about getting houses back and what they would have to go through. Thank you.
All right, next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Mari Kopeny. Next speaker is Arthur Woodson.
Mr. Stanley, don't thank her for what she did, because that wasn't my question. I know what the program was. I asked about the addresses. And here's the thing, right? I tried to ask a question that I already know the answer to, just to see if a person would tell me the truth or give up that information. A guy named Ryan works here at the city, and he took people money over a year ago, and they never got back in touch with him about saving their houses. And they want to know what is going on with their house. Liddell, I don't even like calling you councilwoman, because we can come up here and speak professional, and you still, with your raggedy wig, want to attack people, man. That wasn't even nothing to answer. I mean, your response is trying to I got you moment, instead of just responding, trying to figure out what it is that I was talking about. NPDES, Ms. Johnson, Councilwoman Johnson, you just getting on this council, and this sewer thing is highly important. Do you know what an NPDES is? Committee would be where you would learn about the NPDES. It's where they release toxins in the sewer, and it goes to the Flint River. Back in 2014, if they would have been checking Outfall 1, they would have known that Lockhart was dumping barium, arsenic, cyanide, PFAS, 1,4-dioxin, benzene, vinyl chloride. Then in your ward, you have Ajax. Ajax is over in Genesee Township, but they are running their runoff over into Outfall 1. So will this ordinance put teeth to where Flint will be able to stop that? You don't know. So why would you not want to put that in committee to where you can find out? Please stop voting along with Liddell, because Liddell knows nothing. Liddell is nothing but a bobblehead, somebody who just votes and know nothing. Please stop. I beg of you. Please stop just voting just to go along. I get on Ms. Winfrey when I feel like her vote is wrong. I talk to Mr. Pfeiffer and Tanya. I'm not just saying this to you. I always say something to them, and we are friends. I'm just saying it in respect, due respect, because I can't talk to her. Nobody can talk to her. She never
And
even
we're going to stop
apologized.
here. That's your time.
She never
Next
even
speaker,
accepted
Madam
it.
Clerk.
The next speaker is Keelani Kopeny. I'm assuming it's
She's
not in.
she's not present.
Next speaker is Sarah Houston.
Sarah Houston, 6th Ward. Coming back to my why. Access to communication is a right, not an issue to be discussed. Last time, it was said that Detroit City Council requires a 48-hour notice. That is not true any longer. They provide interpreters every council meeting without request. Also, Mott Community College provides interpreters for their board meetings without request. Genesee County Board of Commissioners provide interpreters without request. The budget should not be an issue when we have board members itching to give $300,000 to other endeavors. I understand that that $300,000 is needed for replenishing a food desert, but you are starving your deaf citizens of vital information every time a press conference is held, a resolution gets passed, where ARPA resources that they are entitled to can be found. Every time the city puts on an event, the deaf are the last to know because they are among the least thought about. The city of Flint is home to the State School for the Deaf, and the city of Flint never thinks to include them in the very things that their money pays taxes for. That is shameful. I ask that you think of them in all that you do in this city. I ask that you to be in compliance with the Michigan State Deaf Persons Interpreter Act. Look it up if you don't know it, it's actually real. And provide their God-given right, which is access to language. You have had a request over a year ago, yet and still they are waiting. That is also a lawsuit waiting to happen. I would ask, please, that you would think of the citizens, your deaf citizens. They're just as vital as the people on the north side, because there's deaf people over there starving too, don't even know there's a grocery store that's supposed to be happening. We're not giving them what they need, what they deserve, what their right is to. Thank you.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Ms. Jackson.
Good evening. My name is Janae Jackson. I am Kiki's mother. I want to state for the record that Leon he don't stay at 606 Mott Street. Police officer testified, well, he didn't testify, he said to us that the only people that stay there is the lady and her dog. I also want to state this too. My grandson, I spoke with a counselor, and he's terrified of his daddy. He's terrified. He witnessed his daddy beating on his mom. Her other kids do not want to go over there where he stay at. Turn around, my daughter, her daughter went back to stay with her in June. Leon kept on trying to come in on her in a bathroom, in her bedroom, not knocking. He's a sex predator too. And I want to mention the lady who stay on 606. He said they were partners. Seen them at Tim Hortons. So y'all want to keep a sex offender, a predator on y'all council? When y'all gonna wake up? And to you, Miss, I ain't gonna even call you a Miss, Liddell, since I know that you the one talking about coming to drag my daughter out, I wish you would've. I wish you would've, baby. You know, cause you less of a woman to deal with a demon from hell. You less of a woman. All y'all sitting up here with this welfare dingling going around here. All y'all want is him. You less of a woman. You less. And you less of a woman to allow him to sit on that council. No, he's claimed he stay over there with a sex offender who mess with kids. He took the joy out of my grandkids. He took the smiles away from them. And like I said, I wish you would have came that day. And I've been waiting on him. It ain't no threat. It's not no threat, I promise you. And I'm gonna say this. Her daddy getting up here talking that mess, apologizing to that yeah, look at the clock. Apologizing to him, I'm not the one. I am not the one. Y'all met Squeak. Y'all met her. So whenever y'all ready to bounce, y'all know where I stay at.
And next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The final speaker for this meeting is Tanya Jones.
Good evening, my name is Tanya Jones. I'm the mother of D. Michael Edwards. And first of all, I want to say, Ms. Liddell, you said aggression, and you apologize to them back there. Since day one, I've been coming here concerning my son and the opioid crisis. All I've been getting is aggression, mainly from you. Mainly from you, and lies, Candace, aggression. But you got a child too, so you don't know what their future might hold. And I promise you that. Karma is something else different. And on that, guess what? Let me go ahead and go on. I would like to know where's the money for the $150,000 of the opioid money that y'all gave to Leon. The opioid crisis is real. Who signed off on it? It's people out here. My son, I brought my birthday in. My birthday is October 9th. I brought my birthday in not knowing where my son at, because he a part of the opioid crisis. His journey is my journey. And I'm going to keep coming down here, and guess what's preaching about the opioid crisis. I just learned out of Miss Claire invited me to the Flint Public Library this past Saturday. I'm grateful for the things that he go out here and he do. I'm grateful for Claire, because I did not know, Miss Claire, I did not know about the people who died behind the water crisis. I didn't know. I go to the library about ready to cry my lashes off, because it's real. People out here dying, and y'all taking the opioid money, y'all taking the ARPA money, y'all taking the water money. Y'all just taking everything. From my understanding, I done heard the bus station's supposed to get torn down and apartment's supposed to be built. This is unreal. This is the city of Flint. I don't know what I'm doing out here, but guess what I'm doing? Y'all act like y'all don't care about the people. And Adele, you can look down all you want, but you said aggression. You apologize to them people in the back. You need to apologize to everybody that come down here every week. We got lives, but we come down here. I just had to deal with John Cole. I went to that case because if he got out, guess what? I was hoping he'd get out, because guess what? I would have been locked up. The system is so broken around here. Y'all don't see that. But when karma hit y'all family, it hit one of y'all. I got a life. I got other things to be doing. But my son matter. The mayor don't care about nobody. But like I want to ask again, why did Leon get 100? And you can look up all you want. But why Leon get $150,000 of the opioid money? I would like to know that. Have a good night, but I know you're not going to answer. But God see everything.
All right, Madam Clerk, is that the last speaker?
That's correct.
All right, thank you. So public speaking is now closed. Do we have anyone that would like to comment for council response? Anyone?
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Ms. Murphy-Carter.
First, I would like to thank all of the speakers and thank all of everyone in the audience. Thank you for being engaged in the process. Ms. Sarah, thank you for always coming up to this podium and speaking life into the deaf community. And what you're saying, I totally agree with you. And I will work with our clerk, our city clerk, to make sure that we try to do what we need to do. Because you're right, we are excluding that whole population. And they should very well be included. Kiki's mom, thank you for coming forth. I do sympathize with you 100. And everyone, Tanya, thank you for coming and standing strong for your son. It means a lot. Madam Chair, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? All right, so since we have no one else, we will go ahead and move on to the consent agenda.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Councilwoman Sharp.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda along with the presentation of minutes.
All right, so the motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda with the presentation of minutes. Any support?
Support.
All right, it's supported by the councilman in the 8th Ward.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Mr.
I'd like to
Pfeiffer.
separate 250299.
250299.
Yep, and 250336.
Hold on, 250299, what's the other one?
336.
336. Okay. All right. Seeing that that is it,
Madam Chair,
go ahead.
I just want clarity about what the double asterisks mean.
Madam Clerk, could you please explain the double asterisk, please, on 250?
On the
Oh,
ones
oh,
that
yeah,
have
oh,
them,
hold
just
on.
what does the double asterisk
Thank you.
mean in general?
So those were misnumbered during the committees.
Got
So
it.
these are corrected numbers, same items. It was just where there's 3 in the 100th spot on committees, it was a 2 on some of them. So these are just corrected agenda numbers.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So we have 2 separations. So the consent agenda will include the presentation of minutes, in addition to Resolution 250332, 250333, 250334, 250337, 250338, 250339, 250340, 250329, and 350348. All right. So now it's time for the vote. Roll call, Madam Clerk, for the consent agenda.
Mr. Alamin is not in. Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Yes. Ms. Priestley is not in. Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns is not in. Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no. The consent agenda has passed. So now we are on to the first separation, which is 250299. What's the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Any support?
Support.
Supported by the councilman in the 8th Ward. Any discussion, the first
Madam
round?
Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Pfeiffer.
So I will not be supporting this until the administration provides the address. They're coming up with a BS, I'm going to say excuse. We are not subject to HIPAA. No, we are not. We are not subject to HIPAA. We are not getting any medical records. We are approving dollars. And I am not going to put my name on $106,000 for one single residence without knowing where that residence is. It's as plain as simple as that. I think the fact that we have other lead abatements that have happened in the city, and we don't have any problem disclosing that, this is unheard of and unprecedented, and the dollar amount makes me believe that there's something that is hidden with this resolution. We are fiduciaries of the city, and if we can't know the address on a $106,000 allotment, I mean, to me, and then it's supposedly told by HUD, but it's only verbal. You only have a verbal from HUD saying that. It's BS. So I will not be supporting this. And I beg my colleagues not to support it either. It may be a good program. It may be a needed expense, but until we get full transparency, it's not worth losing my morals of transparency of what I want to happen in this city. So I will not be voting on this, and I hope that the city attorney got my legal opinion on that, and I hope to see that legal opinion before this comes back again, if it doesn't have the votes today. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Anyone else in the first round?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
are we able to have Mr. Carpenter come up here?
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Carpenter, could you please make your way to the lectern?
The clock is ticking, sir. Will you have to step on it? It's time sensitive.
Mr. Mitchell, I'm calling you to order.
Right, thank you so much. Mr. Mitchell, keep yelling out. That'll be your first warning. Thank you. Hi, Mr. Carpenter. All right, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carpenter.
Good afternoon.
I have some questions. The 106,529.50. Do you guys, what's the limit that you spend at each home? Or is there a limit?
No, there's no limit. Each home varies, just depends on how much lead is in the home.
Okay, so each home varies for the amount, so it wasn't, I thought before, I know I have, like, spoke to you regarding some, some lead abatement for the city, right? I thought, I don't know if you told me this or not, I could be wrong, that the city of Flint only covers 30,000, or?
That's like the median, but we are abating complete lead from the home. So we won't go into a house and do half the lead, we're
Right.
gonna get all of the lead. So if we come to a house where it's over a certain threshold, I just get a request from my GTR, which is HUD, and they will approve it.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, anyone else in the first round?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
through you to Mr. Carpenter, is there somewhere in the regs that says that we shouldn't be publishing the addresses of these homes?
We didn't sign a contract stating that, but the conversation from the program manager school and talking to my GTR and the director of HUD said that we supposed to not disclosing that information is a HIPAA violation.
Can we get that in writing, please?
I asked her for that today. They actually was out. They didn't work today, so once she get back in the office, I can get that in writing.
Okay, I would appreciate that, because that would alleviate some of our colleagues' concerns.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, anyone else in the first round? All right, seeing there's no one else. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Shat.
Mr. Carpenter, because I know we had this conversation simply because I feel like 106,000 is excessive for one home, and I've said this to you before. I've said this openly to you before. But after our conversation, again, this is a historical home. How many? It's escaping me. How many floors to the home?
3.
3 floors, historical home, and this is what the contractor bid for it? This was the lowest bid?
Correct.
Correct, and this was the lowest bid that you could get because it's a historical home.
Correct.
And that's the thing that's making the difference in the pricing here with this. And that you have 3 levels that you have to remediate for lead.
And outside, correct.
And outside as well, so 3 levels and the outside of a historical home.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I do have another question. I don't know if our city attorneys would be privy to any such conversation, or if they could give a little light on this, but Madam Chair, if I may, through you to the city attorney, are you able to give us any background on what information can or cannot be disclosed, or is that not a conversation you would have had?
So I had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Carpenter and Ms. Sparks Green this morning and learn a little bit more about this program and exactly where the funds are coming from. While the law department hasn't had an opportunity to prepare a written legal opinion, it is my opinion that the release of the address in this case would identify protected health information as it's defined by HIPAA. Specifically, it's my understanding that the funds that we're talking about here come from a program called Healthy Homes Dollars, and it's provided by HUD pursuant to a statute called the Residential Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act. And the way that individuals or properties, is, again, as I understand it, qualify for this program and to receive funds through the city of Flint from this federal statute, certain protected health information has to be provided to qualify.
Okay.
So therefore, the disclosure of this address would necessarily provide public notice of this protected health information attribute.
Understood. So, okay, and if I understand you correctly, it's a HIPAA violation in the fact that even posting the notice of the home is posting the fact that there is some sensitive health information for that person. I mean, probably not the best summation of what you said, but.
Correct.
Okay.
By releasing that address, it identifies to the public, people not entitled to that PHI, that a resident of that household has this qualifying medical condition.
Got it. So the HUD money that we have is, we're only remediating homes as far as this grant goes with, or for this particular house, is because they have a qualifying health condition as to why.
That's correct.
Ah, makes sense. Okay. Mr. Carpenter, and again, because I think I've already asked this question once, but I just, again, for the record, is the fact that there's 3 levels, and then you also have to do remediation on the outside, and this is a historic home, and this was the lowest bid that you could get for something meeting those parameters.
Correct. We had a bid to come in at $400,000.
400,000, yeah. Oh, that's wild. Yeah. So thank you so much. I yield in the first round, Madam Chair.
All right, anyone else in the first round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Jarrett.
Thank you. Through you to Mr. Carpenter, I just want to, so I'm hearing that everyone in the house is tested in some regard for lead within their body?
Just the children's under the age of 6.
Just children under the age of 6?
Correct.
And if there is lead present in the children, then the work can be done. But if lead is not present in the children, no work is done.
I just want to, real quick. I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes.
I mean, thank you. And I'm not trying to stop you. I just want to be for certain with the attorney before, because again, we're talking about HIPAA and stuff like that. Yes, it's a request for information, but it's for him. Can you make sure with the attorney that you can ask that? I just want us to be.
Yeah, I think that's a valid question,
Okay.
because it's not this address specifically or a specific address, it's the program in general.
But wouldn't that be basically saying, okay, thank you.
All right, proceed, Mr. Jarrett. Okay.
So if upon testing, the youth under 6 do not test positive for lead, no work can be done through this funding?
All work is being done as long as you have lead in the home. Now, if you test for lead and are under the age of 6, you get shot up to the front of the list.
Okay, so it is the case that there could be no one in the home that's tested positive for lead, but the home tests positive, so we remediate the lead in the home.
Correct. Well, not tested positive for lead, but not tested dangerous levels of lead.
Okay, so if there is no positive test of an individual within the home, but the home has dangerous levels of lead, is there then a HIPAA violation?
It's still disclosing the information if it is or isn't, so yes.
So what we're saying now is HIPAA is tied to the house and not the individual.
It's tied to the information of the people that stay at the house.
But, okay.
Information.
What is your request?
So, Mr. Jarrett, would every address in the city of Flint with lead water not be subject to the HIPAA? if it's the house and not the person?
That's in
Request for information.
Yeah, what did you request?
Mr. Jared, this is specifically talking about lead paint remediation, not water, correct?
What I'm asking is, the HIPAA violation then is tied to the house and not the individuals in the house.
No, it's tied to the individuals.
Request for information.
What did you request?
I think when they go and test for lead in the home and HIPAA violation, you said healthier homes?
Healthy homes, correct.
Healthy home. Usually that's like a respiratory problem, like people with asthma, COPD. Am I able to say that? COPD, emphysema, which makes it a HIPAA violation. Okay, so anybody, bronchitis. So that's what would make it a HIPAA violation, because it's exposing somebody being an asthmatic or have bronchial infections, or, you know, dealing with their respiratory disorder.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Jared?
Thank you. I'm hearing argument for HIPAA violation, and I could maybe even understand that if and where someone in the home had a positive test. But if no one in the home had a positive test, but we're saying the house is, for lack of a different word, but I want to use this word, contaminated, then why aren't we doing something more than saying this is a HIPAA violation? It would almost be like, or it would seem like we would do something stronger than say, we can't give you an address or the address because the house tested. So how does that record on like deeds or something like that, that the house has tested or even been remediated for lead hereafter? Is there somewhere within the documentation of that home, because we can't give the address because it's HIPAA, but if I'm buying a house now that got put up for sale after it was remediated because it was flagged as contaminated, is that automatically disclosed somewhere?
We disclose if the house has been remediated from lead.
I mean, but does that get documented in some kind of other public record?
I send all my information to the state and also to HUD. So I assume yes.
Because it almost feels like nobody can know this house is spooky. And
Request for information. Request. I believe that when homes are sold, those things come up in the sale because that's a selling point.
But then too, with that has to be a seller willing to disclose it.
They want to sell the home.
Exactly. So they may not disclose that, but we'll move on. Thank you, Mr. Carpenter. I yield my time.
All right. Hold on. This second round? Go ahead, Ms. Pfeiffer.
Through you to Mr. Carpenter, has the city been disclosed medical records?
Not in my office.
So the city is unaware of any tests that were conducted or positive tests, negative tests of any individual in any lead house? Is that a correct statement?
Correct.
Thank you. I yield.
All right, anyone else in the second round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Mr.
Mr. Carpenter, I do thank you for answering or attempting to answer those questions, but all of this is for HUD to decipher because, to cipher through, only because you're simply going off of their directive. So any questions that are being asked tonight would be questions that should be asked of HUD as far as what they're considering HIPAA, what a HIPAA violation, as far as what they're considering should be or shouldn't be disclosed. So I do want us to be clear for the record that while you attempt to answer some of the questions that myself and my colleagues are asking as far as HUD's, what HUD has put in place about what can be disclosed, that is not something that you actually have to answer to because it's HUD's policies and procedures. And you're simply going off of the directive from HUD that you said you will get back to us in writing that this is in fact what HUD said to you.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here and that we kind of get back to the item at hand, which is the fact that the $106,529.50 is for a 3-story historical home that is going to be abated inside and out, and this was the lowest bid that you could get for a 3-story historical home that will be abated for lead inside and out.
Correct.
I yield.
All right, thank you. Anyone else would like to speak in the second round? Okay, seeing that there's no one else, I'll go ahead and take my time. You know, remediating homes for lead is very important. I know that the councilwoman in the 3rd Ward was sharing with me that, what was the percentage to you, Madam Councilwoman? Yes.
All homes that were built before 1978 is infected with lead.
Yeah.
A lot of that is the reason they're trying to lead abated, to try to make sure that the children do not get lead and ingested in their system.
Thank you. And so knowing that we have a lot of homes that were built prior to that, it is our duty, our responsibility to use these federally gifted funds. These are not dollars that are coming out of the city of Flint coffers. These are federal funds coming from the Department of HUD, and HUD have explicitly stated that we are not to give out this information. And so this is not coming from the city, this is not coming from Mr. Carpenter, this is coming from those that are supplying these monies. And I can have an appreciation for that because just last week, you know, when we talk about HIPAA medical violations, we had a council member disclosing my medical history right here. And that absolutely. So when we have people disclosing people's medical history, doxing people's addresses, putting it online, this is the reason why I stand in full support with HUD not to disclose this information. So we know enough of the facts about it being a historical home, what this money is for, and I think that'd be enough. Giving us an address, what will it do? Are we going to reach out to the owner? Are we going to ride by? What is our intent for this information? I'm just trying to figure that out. And so that's why I stand in full agreement with this resolution, and I want to see this resident home be remediated as soon as possible because we have people that are waiting to be on this list. And the councilwoman in the 7th Ward, in her other capacity, she has tested people's homes, and they have been full of lead. So this is a problem that we need to handle. So if we can do it one home at a time, I want to do that. And I don't want to hold up funds for something personal that I need. So hopefully my colleagues are paying attention that this behavior has come from this body. We don't need people medical records out, like mine was put out last week. We don't need people's addresses put out, as we saw colleagues put out other people's addresses on the internet. We don't need that. But what we need is to remediate these homes from lead, and I'm 100% with it. So since I'm the last, we will go ahead and we will call for the vote for this resolution so we can remediate this resident's home for lead. So let me ask you this, Mr. Carpenter, before you walk away, did you tell us what ward it was in again? No. Okay, fair enough. Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you. Yep. All right. Go ahead, Madam Clerk. Call for the vote.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns is not in. Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Mr. Jarrett?
No.
Mr. Alamin is not in. The vote is 4 yes, 2 no.
The vote is 4 yes, 2 no. This resolution fails to leave
Madam Chair.
Council, go ahead.
I make a motion to send 250299 back to finance.
All right, there's a motion to send this resolution to finance, supported by the councilwoman in the 7th Ward?
Second, fourth.
That was
Oh, that was
fourth.
you?
Fourth.
Okay, sorry. Supported by councilwoman in the 4th Ward. And this is to send this resolution to finance. Go ahead, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is absent. Ms. Burns is absent. Ms. Mashat?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin is absent. Dr. Lewis?
No.
The vote is 4 yes, 2 no.
The vote is 4 yes, 2 no. So now we move on to the next resolution. It is Resolution 250336, propose money for the Eric B. Mays Senior Community Service Center. What's the pleasure of the body? Go ahead, Councilwoman 7th Ward.
I make a motion that we approve this resolution.
I motion that we approve. Any support?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I second that motion.
All right, Ms. Priestley second that motion. Any discussion in the first round?
Yep. Madam Chair.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Pfeiffer.
I will not be supporting this today as we have not received a budget yet. I would like to know how much of the city's budget this is planned to take beyond these dollars. And I'd like to know how these dollars were derived if they don't have a full budget. So at this time, Mr. Moore is coming up. I'd like to hear what he has to say. Madam Chair, through you to Mr. Moore.
Mm-hmm.
You have the floor, Mr. Moore.
Excuse me?
I said you have the floor.
Okay. The budget for the community centers takes place in 2 parts. The first part is personnel. And personnel, last time I underestimated, I only gave you the salary numbers for that, but the total amount for the salaries, benefits, pension, everything included is $213,800. And then we have $26,000, which was for the utilities and supplies. Most of that's utilities.
Mr. Moore, do you have this in writing?
I have a quick sheet that I can provide you if you're interested.
Is that something that the clerk can copy?
I would think so.
Madam Chair, can we take a 2-minute recess to get copies of this?
Absolutely. So we will take a 7-minute recess without objection.
7?
Yeah, it's 7 is like number completion.
The motion was for 2.
I didn't make.
2. Well, if she get back before 7, we'll go ahead and readjourn. No, reconvene. Excuse me.
Just say a short recess.
I'm saying what I said.
I object.
Oh, okay.
Madam Chair. Hi. Okay, fine. Forget it. Never mind.
What kind of bug was that? Hello? Trying to look
All right. The time is now 6:51, and this Flint City Council meeting is now being brought back to order. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin is absent. Dr. Lewis?
Present.
Ms. Johnson?
Present.
Ms. Priestley?
Present.
Ms. Murphy Carter is absent. Ms. Burns is absent. Ms. Mashat? Present. Mr. Pfeiffer?
Present.
Mr. Jarrett?
Present.
You have 6 members present.
We have 6 members present, so we were in the middle of Councilman Pfeiffer's time. So if you could put, was it second round? First round? Okay, cool, sounds good. All right, and Mr. Moore, you want to approach the lectern again? All right, go ahead, Councilman Pfeiffer.
Thank you. Mr. Moore, this page that you gave us, is that for both centers or just the one?
You asked the question what the budget was. This is,
Well, this current
this was the budget that was
resolution is just
presented.
for Mays, so.
This was the budget that was presented in the first part of March. And,
My question is, this right here for both centers or just for Mays?
This is for the Mays Center.
So who is the, so $239,000 in wages for the Mays Center?
Correct.
Who is leading the other center? I thought Ms. Wiggins was over both.
She is over both.
So wouldn't this be for both?
The question was, what was the budget that and this is the budget that we presented. If we did not, when the budget was prepared last spring, the other center was not included in that budget. This is the only part that was prepared.
So is it safe to say that half of this would be going towards the McKinley Center?
That would be fair, yes.
Okay, that's my point. So obviously outside of the utilities, if this was budgeted for only one center, obviously utilities would not be
The
included for
utilities
both?
were not included, we didn't include anything for the other center, because at that point, when we prepared the budget, that wasn't.
So when you prepared the budget, you prepared the budget of $415,000 for the community center?
When we prepared the budget for the community centers, we had $213,000 for salaries and $26,000 for utilities and supplies.
So, but if you add that up and add it onto what we're asking the county for, it's $415.
Oh, yes, if you're doing that, yes, we're looking for additional dollars to help fund that.
Right, so other than splitting Mrs. Wiggins' salary, which would be a dual role or whatever for both centers, the budget for the Mays Center is $415,000. That's what we prepared, and so of the 239 that you've given us, none of that is included in this request from the county, correct?
That's correct.
So the original. So how did we come up with? What are the professional services, the $75,000, what is that going to be used for?
Mrs. Wiggins would be a better person to answer that question. Part of that would be for class programs.
I would have asked that question, but my colleagues called the question last time, so.
Pardon?
All right. Mr. Pfeiffer, did you finish your question? So somebody else probably answer?
My time's up, so.
Okay, all right. So, anyone else would like to speak?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Ms. Priestley.
So, Mr. Moore,
with these salaries that we have in front of us and the expenses for this, wages, when McKinley Center opens, they'll be split between the two, both individuals. Do you know if that's true or not? Or is it just going to be Ms. Wiggins?
There will be, from what I understand, both individuals will be working at both centers.
Both centers. So at this point, though, McKinley is not open, so all the expenses are going to the May Center.
That's correct.
And since we're only talking about the May Center anyways, at this point, to apply for the funding, I can understand that. Okay, so that was my question. I just wanted to clarify that this is only for the one center now, but when they open, there may be, I would assume that if I'm not going to assume, I'm hoping that if we open the McKinley Center, that an employee would also be added to be able to split, so that there would be somebody at both centers.
We're working on that, yes.
That's what, I saw Seamus, that's the thumbs up, that's the plan. Okay, that was my thought. That would make more sense than having these two individuals just at splitting their time both, although that works. All right. And on the healthcare costs, because I know that Ms. Wiggins' husband is also employed by this, by this facility, that we might not need this. Do we know for sure that this healthcare cost is her cost?
I'm not 100%. We prepared the budget before we had
Before we had
employed.
somebody in that role?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you very much. So it could be that it $18,000 less. Because it would be covered under one employee and not the other. All right, thank you very much.
All right, anyone else in the first round? All right, anyone else in the second round? All right, seeing that we have no one else to speak, we will go ahead and call for the roll call vote. And this is to approve Resolution 250336. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Priestley? Yes. Ms. Winfrey Carter is absent. Ms. Burns is absent. Ms. Mashat? Yes. Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
No.
Mr. Alamin is absent. Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Yes. The vote is 5 yes, 1 no.
The vote is 5 yes, 1 no. That resolution passes. There's a motion to adjourn. Supported by the councilman in the 4th Ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Mashat? Yes. Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
Yes. I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't hear you. I was focused on leaving. The vote is 6 yes, 0 no. It is 7 o'clock, and this council meeting is now officially adjourned. You all have a great night.
Thanks very much for joining me. You know, in the midst of these unprecedented and crazy times, government shutdown, Trump's devastation of healthcare in America, climate change, the move toward authoritarianism, the horrific war in Gaza, the growth of oligarchy, etc., etc., etc. I want to take a few minutes talking about another issue of enormous consequence that just doesn't get the kind of attention I think it deserves. Everybody agrees that artificial intelligence, AI, and robotics are going to have a transformative impact on our country and the world. There is very little disagreement about that. There are, however, very strong disagreements as to what those impacts will be, who will benefit from these changes, and who will be hurt. So here is my take. Some of the very wealthiest people in the world, including Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and others, are now investing hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars into these revolutionary, transformative technologies. Now, why is that? Why are they doing that? Is it because they want to improve the standard of living of the 60% of our people who live paycheck to paycheck? Americans who are struggling to pay for groceries, healthcare, housing, education? Maybe. Maybe they are staying up nights worrying about the working families of America. But I doubt it. I think it's because investing in AI and robotics will increase their already incredible wealth and power exponentially. Among other impacts, the artificial intelligence and robotics being developed by these multi-billionaires will allow corporate America to wipe out tens of millions of decent paying jobs, cut labor costs, and boost profits. The result? The wealthiest people in the world will get even richer while working families lose their jobs and their income. And unless we act, here is, in my view, I don't claim to have all the answers, but in my view, this is what is likely to happen in the next 10 years. Now, as a member of Congress who vigorously opposed the disastrous trade agreements that decimated communities throughout this country, I, like most Americans, want to see manufacturing rebuilt in the United States of America. But let us be clear. New factories won't mean much for working people if the jobs are done by robots instead of human beings. Elon Musk has said he wants Tesla to build millions of robots. And what will these robots do? Well, obviously, they will replace the men and women working in our factories, warehouses, and in restaurants and in other areas. That means millions of good jobs could disappear. It's not very complicated. And of course, it's not just Musk. Amazon, owned by Jeff Bezos, has already laid off 27,000 workers since 2022. The company now has more than 1 million robots working in its warehouses, and soon these robots will outnumber human workers in Amazon facilities. In 2016, Foxconn, the massive manufacturing contractor for companies like Apple and Google, replaced 60,000 workers in a single huge factory in China with robots. Now, the company is planning fully automated factories. And just a few months ago, Foxconn CEO Young Liu predicted that artificial intelligence will make it unnecessary for large corporations to outsource jobs to low-wage countries. You know why? Because robots will be doing most of the manufacturing work. However, it is not just manufacturing jobs at risk. Most of us want to see the United States develop a strong, clean, and efficient transportation system, including the production of millions of new cars, buses, and trucks. But if Musk and others get their way, those vehicles won't be operated by truck drivers, bus drivers, or taxi drivers. They will be driverless vehicles. Millions of jobs in transportation will be eliminated. This is not science fiction. It's already happening. FedEx is using driverless trucks to haul heavy loads along the I-45 corridor between Dallas and Houston through a company called Aurora. Walmart is using autonomous trucks for short-haul deliveries in Arkansas through a company called Gatik. Kodiak Robotics has partnered with IKEA to conduct driverless deliveries in Texas. Waymo is operating self-driving cabs in Los Angeles, Phoenix, San Francisco, Atlanta, and Austin. We all want to see more startup companies and small businesses, but for workers, that will mean very little if half of all white-collar entry-level jobs are eliminated over the next 5 years. And that is exactly what has been predicted by Dario Amodei, the founder of Anthropic, one of the leading AI companies in the world. As the ranking member of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, I just released a report finding that AI, automation, and robotics could replace nearly 100 million jobs in America over the next decade, including 40% of registered nurses, 47% of truck drivers, 64% of accountants, 65% of teaching assistants, and 89% of fast food workers, among many other occupations. And as bad as that may seem, I'm afraid it could be an underestimate. In June, the CEO of Ford, Jim Farley, predicted that AI could eliminate, quote, literally half of all white-collar jobs in the U.S., end quote, within the next decade. That's Jim Farley, Ford. Elon Musk said this year that as a result of AI and robotics, quote, probably none of us will have a job. If you want a job, that's kind of like a hobby. You can do a job. But otherwise, AI and robotics will provide any goods and services you want, end of quote. Earlier this year, Bill Gates predicted that humans, quote, won't be needed for most things, end quote, such as manufacturing products, delivering packages, or growing food over the next decade due to AI. So, my friends, here is a rather big question. If Musk and Gates and others are only half right in their predictions, what happens to the tens of millions of Americans who no longer have employment because they can't find jobs that don't exist? In this brave new world, how do these Americans pay for health care, food, housing, and the other necessities of life? But it's not just economics. Work, whether being a janitor or a brain surgeon, is an integral part of being a human being. The vast majority of people want to be productive members of society and contribute to their communities. What happens when that vital aspect of human existence is removed from our lives? Further, and now we get into some pretty deep stuff, the rapid developments in AI will likely have a profoundly dehumanizing impact on all of us. In many ways, it will actually redefine what it means to be human, fundamentally alter our relationships to each other, and the very nature of what we call society. Can AI and robotics be of help to us in many ways? Absolutely. I believe they can. I am not a Luddite. The goal, however, is to make sure that the new technologies being developed serve human needs and not just further enrich a small number of multi-billionaires. We do not simply need a more efficient society. We need a world where people live healthier, happier, and more fulfilling lives. So, where do we go from here? And again, I don't have all of the answers, but here are just a few ideas as to how, in my view, the advances in technology can benefit ordinary Americans and not just multi-billionaires. First, we must move to a 32-hour work week with no loss in pay. Think about it. Today, American workers are 400% more productive than they were in the 1940s when the 40-hour work week was first established. Artificial intelligence and robotics will greatly increase that productivity. Workers must benefit from that increased output through a shorter work week. A 32-hour work week with no loss in pay would be a major step forward in improving the quality of life for millions of Americans. Second, we must require large corporations to allow workers to elect at least 45% of the members of their boards of directors, similar to what already takes place in Germany. Workers need a seat at the table to best determine how AI is used in their companies. If Tesla workers were on their workers should receive at least 20% of the stock in companies they work for. Corporate profits should not just be going to enrich wealthy stockholders and the billionaires who own them. Fourth, we need to substantially expand the concept of employee ownership in America. When workers own their own businesses and are more involved in the decision-making processes, they will make choices that benefit everyone in the company, not just the people on top. Fifth, instead of providing billions of dollars in tax breaks to companies that are throwing workers out on the street and replacing them with new technologies, we should enact a robot tax on large corporations and use that revenue to improve the lives of workers who have been harmed in this transition. Bottom line, AI and robotics will bring a profound transformation to our country. Nobody denies that. In my view, we must fight to make sure that these changes benefit all of us and not just a handful of billionaires. Let the debate begin, and we need your participation. Thank you very much. The question that we now have to address is how we keep the government open and serve the needs of the American people. As Americans know, Republicans have a majority in the House and in the Senate, and they also control the White House. They run the government. Republicans have the responsibility, therefore, to keep the government open. My understanding is that there will be a vote tomorrow on a continuing resolution to fund the government until November 20th. In the House, a simple majority wins, and I would imagine that by a very slim vote, Republicans will